And that's what I want. I want the one-on-one experience with the juror, potential juror. But in capital cases, where the state is seeking the death penalty, we get to talk to each individual juror by himself. And generally, in Harris County at least, we get about 30 minutes aside. The state goes first, and so they ask questions of this juror for 30 minutes, and then the defense lawyer gets to do the same thing. And the rules are a little slack during that period of time, because when I say that, what I mean is we can get up and kind of walk around the room and talk to the juror and write on the blackboard or show slides or whatever you have to do. Some lawyers these days have PowerPoint presentations, and I hate those things. I'm sorry, but I do. But to talk to them, it's actually it's very challenging, because these people, first of all, that they're going to lie to you, and you're trying to figure out exactly what it is that they're going to lie about. They're going to tell you they can, they can be fair, of course. I mean, I hate that question. Can you be fair? Well, what are you going to say? No, I'm the most unfair jerkhead that's ever walked the face of the earth. But it's easier to do it in a capital case than it is when you have a room full of people. And when I say what I mean is it's easier to develop a connection with these people. And I try very hard to talk in the usual tone of voice, and I want to use normal words and want them to like me. That's what I'm trying to do, is to make the juror like me as a person, not me as a lawyer. I want them to understand I have a job to do, and this is what my job is, and this is what I feel. But you also have to follow the law. And here I've got to tell you what these legal issues are, and you've got to agree to them if you do. If you don't, it's okay. And I always tell a juror that I don't want some wimpy person back there who can't stand up to another juror. I want strong jurors. I don't want somebody who's going to fold if there's 10 people looking at them in the face going, you're an idiot, how can you think this? I mean, like that. I mean, I don't want a juror who's going to go, oh, I'm so sorry, I made a mistake, let me rethink this. And I make sure, and I tell them why. I want somebody who's got the nerve and the guts to say, you all go do whatever you want to do. I have listened to you. I have deliberated with you. I have done what the court ordered me to do. But in the long run, at the end of the day, my verdict, my belief is different from yours. And I stand by what I feel, not the way you feel. That's what I want. And I talk a lot to a juror about that. Because in my mind, this is first of all, it's the only opportunity I ever get to say what I think to a juror, and them to me. And I believe that in capital cases, I want very smart people, and I usually try to choose jurors who have a college education or higher. I want people who are outspoken. I love engineers. I know a long time ago people said, no, you engineers are terrible. I like engineers on capital trials because they have that analytical mind. People, mathematical type people who can say, but wait a minute, that doesn't really fit what the judge is saying. This is what we've got to do. Here are the facts that we were told by the prosecutor that fits this, but I don't think it really does. That's the kind of mind that I want in a capital trial. I don't really, I can't really say whether I care about race or not. I know that race isn't an issue, but you'd be blind, dumb, and ignorant to not think about it when you're looking at a jury and trying to decide who to pick for your typically black defendant sitting here next to you. So it just depends on what they say. Mm-hmm. But I think the most important thing is you've got to sell yourself, and you have to pick strong, smart, engineering type minds I think, in capital cases. People who have the nerve to look at the prosecutor and go, I know you're representing the state of Texas, but that doesn't sway me. I mean, you have to prove something to me, and you haven't yet. And so you lose. That's what I like, that you lose part.
Yeah.
Well, I think we were discussing the kind of juror that I try to get every single time, sometimes very successful, sometimes not. But I think the smart juror and the analytical juror is the kind that most capital defense lawyers would agree that would be better for you in the long run. Because what you want is somebody to nitpick, to make sure that they feel that the state has proven beyond a reasonable doubt each and every element of every piece that they have charged him with, every piece of that offense. And sometimes the jury will tell you that they didn't do it, they failed. And when we got a juror and that we know we don't want this person, we start trying to get that guy off. And one of the favorite questions is try to exclude him on the basis that he couldn't follow the law on the basis of the technicality of the name of the county where the offense occurred. Maybe the state forgot to prove up Harris County, and on a motion for an instructed verdict, the judge has to grant that because the state did not prove up the county that the offense occurred in, and that's an element of the offense, and it was not proven. You okay with that? Well, no. Okay. So you take it a little bit further, but that there are just different ways that you use to try to exclude a juror that you know is not going to be good for you. It would be nice if every single person that we talked to was acceptable, and all you had to do was to make them like you, what I said before. Try to get them to think that you're a credible person, you're a likable person, even though you're a lawyer, that most times people don't really like lawyers, which is kind of another subject. But they're just different ways to do it, and it's interesting. I like voir dire. You kind of get a little bored because you tend to say the same thing to all the 200 people that you talk to finally get 12 plus 2 to 4 extra alternates on the panel. But all in all, I like it. It's fun and interesting, and you get to meet a whole lot of people, and you get to hone your skills a little bit, and that's where you do it. And there's nothing in any trial more important than jury selection.